Hi, my name is Debbie Murillo, and this is my video presentation for lab number 7, gross anatomy of the central nervous system, the brain. And today is Tuesday, June 21st, 2022. This is for LAPU, Anatomy and Physiology 1. Dr. Boringasser is the professor. Here I have my sheep brain, and I'm going to be describing the different parts to it. So looking at it from the top view. So this right here is my sheep brain, and we are looking at it from the superior or top view. And I'm going to be pointing out the different structures that we find here. So this would be the right hemisphere, the left hemisphere. Part right here on the front would be the frontal lobe. Middle part right here is going to be the parietal. And the back here would be the occipital lobe. Here on the brain we also find the gyri or gyra and sulci or sulcus. The gyri are the folds. So what we would find the folds here in between these grooves. And the sulci or sulcus is the indentations in between the grooves. This right here is the longitudinal fissure that divides the right and left hemisphere, and this portion right here would be the cerebellum, connects to the spinal cord. This right here is the inferior view of the brain. So right here up at the top would be the frontal lobe. Towards the frontal lobe here, this part right here, we would find the olfactory bulb, which helps with sense of smell. The optic chiasm would be right here. Brainstem would be all along here. Part right here that's kind of got removed. And the cerebellum be right here that got removed. Okay, here we would have the optic nerve, the pons, medulla oblongata, the temporal lobe would be located or just about here. Since this is the inferior view, kind of hard to tell, but it would be along the side of the head. Looking at this from the inferior view, we cut it in half, but this would be the top of the brain or frontal lobe. This would be towards the back, going down the spinal cord. So frontal lobe would be up here. Temporal lobe would be about here. Medulla oblongata about here. Pons right around here. The cerebellum, and then the spinal cord would be attached going down the spine. The olfactory nerve be right around here, help with the sense of smell. The optic nerve would be around here, allowing for vision. Okay, here is the sagittal view of the brain. So cut in half. The inside right here. This is the corpus callosum, all right here. This part here. And then right around in here, we'd find the thalamus, pineal gland right underneath. The spinal cord be connected here towards the back. This is the back of it here as well. Then we have the pons, medulla oblongata, cerebellum, you'd find here the thalamus and hypothalamus. So the thalamus would be larger gland, hypothalamus would be right underneath. Pineal gland we'd find right in here. Here this would be the lateral view of the brain. So picture spinal cord here, medulla, pons, cerebellum, occipital lobe, temporal lobe, frontal lobe, a disease I'd like to talk about that can cause some structural and functional changes of the brain can be dementia or Alzheimer's. Studies show that with these diseases, the size of the brain in itself can actually get smaller or shrink. And people with this type of brain disorder or nervous system problem can have memory issues, behavior problems, thinking problems, and unfortunately there's no cure. It does progress and worsen over time.